It's
The Qatar World Cup 2022. Let's get this underway.
well.
soon.
Let's not. I
Yeah.
need to find out who's in this World Cup. Is Ireland in the World Cup?
Definitely not.
Is Italy in the World Cup?
No.
How about Scotland? I always like watching Scotland in the World Cup.
Nuh-uh.
Peru are there though, yeah.
Never in the life of 2020.
Well, Jamaica are surely in the World Cup. at least.
Nuh-oh.
No, Jamaica. That's Bulgaria.
Nope.
Is this World Cup even worth watching? Is
Yes.
this really a World Cup?
Yes. This is us predicting it.
And before we start, I do want to say for anybody who's watching and doesn't know, this World Cup is taking place in the Middle East, in Qatar, which I think is a great thing that it's going to the Middle East. I don't have a personal problem with it being played in the winter. The last two World Cups in, not the last two of the last most recent World Cups in South Africa and in, what's the name of the country? Brazil were played in winter there. However, there are concerns we have about this World Cup being held in a place which has basically used slave labour to build a lot of it. There's been a lot of allegation of corruption, which seem to be substantiated about the buying of the World Cup, the rights to hold the World Cup. And there are many other things that are concerning. It's not to say that World Cups held in the US or Russia or anywhere else are completely above board. I have concerns about the Russian one and other ones.
Yep.
But we wanted to say this first so that you don't think that we're just ignoring the fact that many, many people have died for this World Cup.
Just for this World Cup.
Anyway,
Yes.
we shall now move to the football side of things. And Redmond,
football,
you
yes.
excited?
Yes, I am very excited. I'm actually very happy that a Middle Eastern country, there's like, maybe, I think this is the first time, maybe in history, that 3 Middle Eastern countries have been in the World Cup at once. That's Iran, Saudi Arabia, and Qatar, of course.
It might be actually. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I
know.
think
Well,
so.
Iran is. I suppose they're a little bit further west. They're more Central Asian, to be honest, than
But
Middle
we'll
Eastern.
discount it. We'll discount it.
Well, you will, but that's another day's discussion. Apologies to all our Persian viewers. Redmond, you've got something in your hands that you're very excited about.
This is my World Cup book. Shall take you through it.
You don't need to go through the entire thing. It is only a 10-minute video,
Yes.
and we are already 2 minutes in.
Oh, God.
Yeah, we can do a little bit longer than 10. But yes, you're very excited about the sticker book. So, let's. Who would you like to win the World Cup? Now, who do you think is going to win it? Who would you like to win the World Cup?
Honestly, who I would like to win the World Cup is honestly Argentina or Portugal. Those two, one of the
Why Argentina or Portugal?
because they're both, I would say, two of the best players in the world. I would say.
They play for their countries, yeah. Like Bruno Fernandes and Nicolas Otamendi. Are those two of the best players in the world? Because they play for Argentina and Portugal.
No.
Who do you mean?
Messi and Ronaldo.
Okay, this is probably going to be their last World Cup, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So this is
Same
the last
with
chance for them to win.
Karim the Dream or Benzema.
Karim Benzema in France, yeah. Anyone else?
I can't remember anybody else. But, Luis Suarez and Neymar. Those two have their
because
last.
you were talking about Uruguay earlier.
Yes.
This probably isn't Neymar's last World Cup, but it's almost certainly Luis Suarez's.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, well, what we'll do is we're going to go down through all the groups one by one, and we're going to talk about the teams in there. We've stolen the pictures off Wikipedia, so apologies if you're wondering, is this the order we think in? It's just in alphabetical order, I think. Probably isn't now that I've said that.
Yeah.
But we're going to look down through these groups, and then we are going to predict who we think is going to come out of each and what surprises we think there. And then we're going to talk about who we think overall is going to win.
Yeah.
By the way, in terms of who I'd like to see win the World Cup, I'd like to see a new team win it.
Yeah.
You know, like Belgium, or my preference, I suppose, is probably Senegal, who are playing good football, and we don't get to see Sadio Mane unless they do fairly well, I think.
Did you know?
But I'd also be happy to see Argentina win. What is it?
Did you know actually they still brought in Sadio even though he was injured? Because it's better for team morale.
Yes, but also if they go far enough, he could play. And it's funny we're talking about Sadio Mane because we start off our group watch with Group A, which has Qatar, Ecuador, Senegal, and the Netherlands. So it must be in order drawn or whatever. I don't know. It doesn't matter. So Redmond, Qatar, Ecuador, Senegal, Netherlands. What do you think is going to happen in this group? I don't need scores, just an overview of who's going to do well, who's not.
I'm really wanting Qatar to make it out, but there's not a big chance.
Why do you want Qatar to make it out?
They're a team that has never made the World Cup, so I want them to at least have maybe play at least 4 games. I would be happy if they play 4 games.
Okay. Anything else you want to say?
Not much, really. The Ecuador is a team that you should not sleep on. They are a very, very decent team, I would say.
Okay. I know they're probably underspoken for. This is actually a much tougher group than it looks. Netherlands have been kind of... What are you at? Netherlands have been favourites for the World Cup. Sorry, not favourites. The dark horses, so to speak. Sort of a longer shot, possibly get to the semi-finals, maybe further. Senegal, even without Mane, is probably the best team in Africa by quite a distance. I mean, Egypt would come close,
but
Egypt
they haven't even
here.
qualified.
So I think my thinking is I actually expect Qatar to do quite well. They've been playing together for quite a while.
They have a good strike force, I must say.
Do they?
They have Ali. Let me check.
Yeah.
Let me check.
Ali's pretty handy.
Ali's pretty handy.
We're now going to do the thing I hoped we wouldn't do.
So
No, don't just go by who you've got a sticker for. Yeah, this guy, Anwez Ali, I think he's Sudanese. He was the top scorer in the Asian Cup in 2019.
And
He's got there's a good shot of him. So who do you think's going to get out of the group?
Honestly, I'm doing a risky shot by putting Senegal top, Qatar second, and Netherlands third.
Oh wow! Nobody loves Ecuador. I think Qatar might get Qatar, I should say, is how you pronounce it. Qatar might have a chance of getting out of the group.
Honestly, they have a fair chance, I must say.
But I suspect, I mean, it's hard to look past the Netherlands, but we are only seeing a European perspective. This Senegal team is special, though. Even without Sadio Mane, I really hope they can do what they need to do and get out and get into the next round. So your two are Qatar and Netherlands.
Yep.
And I'm going to go
Qatar and Senegal.
Qatar and Senegal, and I'll go Senegal and probably Qatar as no, realistically, I mean, jury's out. Skip on to the next one. Redmond knows what he wants. I don't. England, Iran, United States, and Wales.
Honestly, this is just like the first one. There were 2 good groups that I would say there's 2 main teams, but there could be some upsets in there.
And who are the main teams?
I would say in Group A it has to be Senegal, Netherlands.
We're talking about Group B.
Probably United States, England.
You think they're the top 2?
Yeah.
You think that Wales or Iran are going to come anyway close?
They might get third, but probably not. These 2 teams are very good.
I think location is going to help. Iran are probably not competent enough to get out of this group. I think they'll finish third at worst.
Yep.
It really boils down to how England does against Wales and the US does against Iran. Upsets in those games could change the matter. You'd have to expect England and the US, but again, I like Iran. They're always competent. They're always capable. Are they going to be able to pull it off? I don't know, but they'll be raising their games for England and the US. So Wales are going to get through? I don't know.
Probably not.
Group C: Argentina, Saudi Arabia, Mexico, and Poland.
I would say this is the group of death.
Yeah, go on.
I would say
Explain, Steve.
Mexico's, Argentina, Saudi Arabia, Poland. They're all very good teams. The ones Saudi Arabia, maybe not. Honestly, I'm expecting them to finish last.
Yeah, go on.
Poland, Mexico. That game might be good. That's going to be like the third. That's the second place match. Like to see who will finish that third place spot.
So who's getting out of the group, do you think?
I'm saying Argentina and Poland.
Argentina and Poland to get out of the group.
Mhm.
Well, the expectation is that Argentina will win all their games and that Saudi Arabia will lose all their games. Again, Saudi Arabia, it's as close to home advantage as we're going to see in my lifetime at Saudi Arabia having at a World Cup, I suspect. However, it's not a great Saudi team.
Not a
It
good
really
one.
isn't. And the tensions between Saudi Arabia and Qatar may be too much. I don't know. But Argentina, it's hard to see them failing to get out of the group. I anticipate Mexico getting second place, to be honest. I think they'll beat Saudi Arabia, and it's a good Poland team, but
It's a good Poland team.
Mexico have that knack of getting into the next round.
I know.
I suspect that's going to go the way of Mexico and Argentina. Redmond, do you think?
Honestly, I'm saying Poland, Argentina. They are both very good teams, I must say. So is Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
I just think Robert Lewandowski and Chesney, a couple of other ones, will be carrying that team for Poland.
Mexico's the only team I can see beating Argentina, but I think the big one is going to be Mexico against Poland, which is the first game, which is on Tuesday. So I'm just checking the things while we go along.
Yes.
Let's have a look at Group D. France, Australia, Denmark, Tunisia.
I must say, there's no way of France not getting out of that group.
You reckon?
Yeah, they won the last World Cup. Do you expect a team who won the last World Cup to get grouped in the next World Cup?
That happened in the last World Cup to Germany.
Oh.
And it happened to France when the last time they won the World Cup, they didn't get out of their group in 2002, going out to Senegal. Ooh, yeah. Now we're very, very certain about ourselves, aren't we? What do you think's going to happen in this group, Redmond? Very quickly.
Denmark, Australia. I'm sad. They're probably gonna finish fourth. Denmark and Tunisia. They're both very decent teams. One of them has to get third spot. I'm saying it's Denmark.
So you think it's going to be France and Tunisia going through?
Yeah.
You heard it here first. Personally, I think Tunisia may be the weakest team in the World Cup. They're not going to give up many goals, but they're not going to score many either. I can see them going out, conceding 4 goals total and maybe scoring 1 if they're lucky. Denmark are really strong. France are still one of the strongest teams in the world. Those are the two I'm expecting to go through. Probably France on goal difference, I'm guessing. Okay, ready for the next one? Stop that. That's an irritating thing to be doing. Okay, Spain, Costa Rica, Germany, and Japan. What do you
That
think
is
about that one?
exciting, I must say. Germany, Spain. That's going to be a very big game, I must say.
Mm-hmm. You must. Could
Yeah.
you explain why you must say it?
They're both very good teams. They're probably both going to go through, but there is that wild card of Costa Rica. There is that. Spain team, I must say, has been a little weak.
Why must you say that?
I just haven't been seeing them do well.
You haven't been seeing them at all.
Yeah.
They were semi-finalists in the Euros, I think, only losing on penalties to Italy, or maybe it was quarterfinalists. Anyway, so who's going through?
I'm saying I'm doing a risky one. Germany and Costa Rica.
Okay,
There is that wild card of Costa Rica, which I really love. Japan, they're finishing fourth every day of the week, I must say.
I'm intrigued because I'm thinking Spain to top the group and Germany second, with Costa Rica finishing bottom. Japan are really unlucky here. They've actually got quite a good team, but they've also got the two of the strongest teams in the World Cup, 2 potential contenders in Spain and Germany. Do I think Spain or Germany will win the World Cup? No. But I do think they are going to push. Okay, let's skip on, and now we're going to a different side of the
Table.
to go and look at Group F. That's Belgium, Canada, Morocco, and Croatia.
Canada got unlucky. It's been a while, I think, since Canada has qualified for a World Cup. Maybe 2002 might have been the last
1986.
one.
A long time back.
Yeah.
They've been once. They
They've
scored
been
1 goal, I
once.
think.
One
they only lost
goal.
1-0 to France, who went on to finish third, I think. But Redmond, what do you think? Belgium, Canada, Morocco, Croatia. Croatia World Cup finalists last time.
I think this might be Belgium's last chance, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
They have a good team, but a lot of them are soon going to be retiring on their national teams.
Yeah. Go on.
Honestly, I'm putting at Belgium topping it with Croatia in second, Morocco finishing third, and Canada going fourth.
I'm going to be the contrarian here again. I do think Belgium will do well in this group, but I think Croatia are going to collapse. They've done well in recent games, true, but I suspect they've gone a bridge too far. Their better players are older and tireder. I don't know that they can get out of the group because Canada's surprisingly good, better than people are giving them credit for. But I think Morocco is the team that's going to get out of this group. The big game for me, I think, is going to be that last one between Morocco and Canada, at which point it could be a case of a win for either one of them gets them through at the expense of Croatia. That's a guess. Who knows? But I can see Morocco putting one over on Croatia early on. They're a little bit more accustomed to the climate this time of year, and if I recall correctly, Morocco has actually quite a good array of players playing in Europe, as well as playing in Europe as well. So Morocco and Belgium for me for this one. Group G is Brazil, Serbia, Switzerland, Cameroon.
Brazil got lucky.
Why did they get lucky? 2 European teams? Traditional thinking would suggest that facing 2 European teams makes it harder.
Honestly, Brazil's a very good team. They are even favourites, I would say, to win.
Yeah, they are. That's fair to say. Go on.
Switzerland and Serbia, they're going to be fighting for that spot for second. I just don't feel like it for Cameroon.
No, I think you're right on Cameroon. Cameroon are weak. Brazil have been doing really well for the last little while. They've won most of their games, but they haven't faced necessarily the strongest opposition. This too is true for Argentina. They've mostly played non-European opposition. That doesn't mean that they're going to be weaker, and there's a confidence there that's going to boost them. But I don't think that this Brazil team is a vintage Brazil team. But I do think they're going to get out of the group. I think they'll be second to Serbia of all teams. Switzerland are a very solid, reliable team that I can't see creating something exciting in the first round in the way that Serbia could do something crazy. They face Brazil in their first game. Who knows? Anything can happen in any World Cup game. But I think they'll get a draw or maybe even a win. I think they'll put more past, and I think they can beat Switzerland. Switzerland feel like a team that's going to grind out an awful draw with Brazil. And Switzerland could be a very big game at the end of the group.
Honestly, I'm putting Brazil top, then Switzerland, Serbia. They haven't been doing well, I would say, in their last few games.
Well, you can be wrong on your time. Dusan Tadic and Dusan Vlahovic are a great pair to have in a team.
Yeah.
Okay, final group. Portugal, Ghana, Uruguay, South Korea.
Looks like Ghana and Uruguay are in the same group.
They are. Quarterfinalists in 2010. Luis Suarez played in that game. I don't know if there's any Ghanaians still on that squad from literally 12 and a half years ago. But Suarez prevented a penalty that led to Ghana. Suarez caused a penalty by diving to stop the ball going into the goal that prevented a last-minute winner for Ghana. They missed the penalty. They lost on penalties. Uruguay go through. That was 2010, I think. Redmond, Portugal, Ghana, Uruguay, South Korea. Tell me about it.
Portugal's gold generation's also slipping away. This is very... South Korea, they got lucky. Honestly, they got pretty unlucky, I must say. They are a very decent team. They even have a chance to maybe get Probably not. What I'm putting is South Korea going bottom at 4th place. Ghana hitting third, and Portugal and Uruguay going through. But I'm putting Portugal second.
Think Uruguay going to beat Portugal?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's see if I can find out who's that last game. It's Korea against Portugal and Uruguay against Ghana. Ooh, that's a meaty last game of the group. Personally, I think until Ronaldo is dropped, the current coach sees nothing but play through Ronaldo, and he's not had a good season. He's not having a good year. He's still a force, and he's going to score a couple of goals, but I don't know that we're going to see Portugal go through. Ghana aren't brilliant, but it depends on what happens in their game in the first round. The first game against Portugal, that could go either way. Uruguay, I think, are getting through fairly comfortably, but again, you never know. South Korea are a better team than people give them credit for. It's hard to know, but I think Ghana and Uruguay. So Redmond, having looked at all these groups,
Yes.
who do you think of the teams that we've said will go through is going to do well? Who's going to be a surprise? Who's going to win the World Cup? Not based on what you want, based on who we've talked about.
Honestly, I'm putting Uruguay as a surprise team.
Mm-hmm.
They are a very decent team, and for many years now, they've just been a small country with a huge force in the World Cup. I'm going to put them as dark horses with Senegal. Those two could surprise the world.
They could, or they might not. We'll see. Who else? What else are you gonna?
I'm going to say England could be a favorite. They haven't won in a while. They haven't won since 1996, 1966, which was their only World Cup win. Honestly, I think England might be a surprise team too.
They might be a surprise. They're one of the heavy favourites for this tournament. So, do you mean a surprise team in that they'll win it, or a surprise team in that you like saying that phrase?
I like saying that phrase.
There we have it, folks. Exclusive here. I don't think that if, as I suspect Senegal, depending on where they finish in the group, could get to the quarters, perhaps even the semis. But I don't think they'll get. I'm thinking quarters is their limit. But I think they're going to do best of the African teams. I think Morocco's going to get wiped out in the next round by either Spain or Germany, and I think that's going to happen to Canada. Belgium could beat Spain or Germany, but I don't know that they're going to get out that group. I think they will, though. I can't look beyond France. France, even with the players they're missing, is still one of the best teams in the world in terms of depth and in terms of squad. I don't like their manager. I don't like the way they're made to play by him. But I think France are hard to look beyond. Argentina as well.
There is honestly some other ones. I must say Portugal have a chance. Brazil, they could win it once again. I hope it's somebody new. That's what I hope.
Yeah, but we're not talking about hope. We're talking about who you think is going to win it.
Who I'm predicting to win it is Argentina. Messi
Okay, so
in his
your hope
last
is
tour.
the same as your whatever. I love the idea of an Argentina-France final. We definitely will not get that. Something will happen some way along the way. But again, I'm hoping to see a surprisingly open World Cup, at least in the first round. If I'm going to be getting up at 5 o'clock for games, in spite of the awful things we know are happening in Qatar, I'm likely to get up to watch games. I do want to see goals. I don't want to get up at 5 a.m. for a 0-0. Redmond, any last thoughts about the World Cup that you want to add before we stop?
This is a very even World Cup.
Why so?
A lot of these good teams are decent, and a lot of these teams are good. I would say if you can get through the group, you're Uruguay might be a dark horse now. Very even World Cup.
Okay. Well, we will talk to you after we see what the draw is for the second round, and then we'll try and work out our bracket going forward. Thank you for watching. Anything else to say, Redmond?
Hope you get some of the games. Look out for Mexico, Argentina, and bye.